Hey YouTube, this is a '06 Toyota Corolla. They recently changed the battery and it's still having some problems, which means it's time to change that alternator. So to do that, first thing we need to do is disconnect the battery. We'll start with the negative terminal, then unplug the positive. I'm going to use this 10mm socket. That one is barely even on there. With that disconnected, I'm going to remove this fan shroud to give me some more room. I'm not sure if this is necessary or not. It is also a 10mm. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I pulled this off the radiator. There's also a tab down here to disconnect the fan. We'll push that in. Pull that off, and this pulls out, which now gives us plenty of room to work. This item right here is the alternator. We want to start by disconnecting the plugs on it. This bolt is also a 10mm. Excuse me, this nut is also a 10mm. Next step is to release the tension on the belt, and to do that I had to grab a camera. But this bolt you're looking at right here, let's get a good focus on it. That bolt is a 19mm. That's not too bad. To get it off there, I had to use one of these, and I had to use one with the flex head. I think if you took this cover off and had a different, like a short socket, it could work. You could also probably borrow one of these from the parts store. These are very handy to have. This is a 19mm crowfoot socket on a 3/8 ratchet, and then the 3/8 had to bend too. So I also had to have enough leverage, so I put a pipe over it. Right now we're after this bolt right here. I believe that's a 12, and a bottom bolt. And that bolt down there at the bottom, this one, I believe that one is a 14, looking at it. And here is your alternator. So, unfortunately, this is our bad alternator. The store was unable to find one. They kept trying to give me a different one, even though we tried both engines. So I went to the I went to the junkyard, and we got a junkyard model. The only problem is the alternator I got matches, but this tab's broke. So I'm going to show how to change it in case anyone needed to. Looks like it's just a 8mm. And then this just comes off. We'll move it over to here. Alright, let's get this alternator on and get out of here. What do you say, viewers? Should I do the top bolt or the bottom bolt first? Alright, bottom bolt's on. That wasn't too bad. And top bolt is on. So I'm going to cheat and use power tools here. Well, don't let it eat your glove. Like it just did for me. Confirm all the belt is all on the ribs. We'll go ahead, put our connectors back on, reinstall the fan assembly, connect your overflow back to the radiator, put the 10mm bolts back in, and then we'll go ahead, reconnect the battery, and give her a test run. When you start it up, it's a good idea to turn your air to full, recirculate, make sure your air compressor's on, turn your defroster on, turn your headlights on. Basically, you have as much going on out of that alternator as you can, and then check the voltage. The battery was replaced. I've already cleaned the terminals off. I might see if I can't clean them a little bit more. There's still a little bit on there. But with everything running, it's putting out 12.1 volts. Let's see what it looks like with just the headlights on. And with just the headlights, we're at 12.6. Hopefully that keeps you trucking. Keeps your car on the road. Doesn't cost you too much money. And you can drive another day. Thanks for watching.